All right, welcome to UPL coach interview number 5 with Bucs of the Bronx Blastoise.
What's up?
So yeah, there's the how does it work? Whatever, we're just gonna jump into it. We don't need to explain things. So the first question is, how did you get your team name and your username? And is there anything else that you want to share about yourself?
So, Bucks is just because I like the Buccaneers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Nothing too crazy about that. And then the team name, Bronx, is where I was, born and raised. And then Blastoise was my very first starter when I played Red. So that's how those two came together.
And I believe you used a different team name before, correct? The New
Yeah, yeah,
York
yeah.
Blastoise.
Yeah, I decided to,
Specify.
yeah, just super specify.
All right, all right. And then, is there anything else you want to tell us about yourself? Things you like, what you do outside of Pokemans.
Well, outside of the Pokemans, I just recently, since it came out, have been real deep into the Digimon TCG, Unite, of course. But other than that, work, sleep, play video games
Sleep.
as
Those are the
as,
only
as much as that
answers.
is,
All right.
and try to make my wife happy. Yeah.
All right. How did you get into competitive Pokemon and draft leagues? Not
So
not the UPL specifically, but in general, like competitive Pokemon and draft
yeah.
leagues.
So I took a long hiatus from Pokemon. Basically, my entire high school and college years because I had a terrible experience in middle school. Kids calling me out, and I was like, you know what? Let's just not play this for a while. Got all the way back in, probably my last year of
The
college.
classic meme of elementary school,
Yeah,
everyone plays, middle school, no one, and then college, everyone.
yep. It was brutal. So then I started playing again. I started watching Worlds. And I was like, you know what? I
So,
really
what
want to play.
game was out at this time, if you don't mind me asking, just so we can get a timeline here.
It had to have been Omega Ruby, I believe.
Okay.
And the only reason I really got in was because I was an active watcher of A Drive stream,
Dang, I feel
and
like everyone
someone
was.
pretty much, and then one of his mods or someone that was another active viewer said, "You know what? Whoever ends up being the 100th sub, I'm gonna send them $100." And I was like, "You know what? I could use that to get a DS, a 3DS." And lo and behold, I ended up getting that 100
Oh
sub, got
my.
the DS, got the Omega Ruby, and I was like, you know what? Didn't play X and Y. I got X, and that's how me getting back into Pokemon went. Then competitive, I loved watching the VGC. Thought that was cool as hell. That's where I started with competitive Pokemon, and that started when I got back into it. I had no prior experience at all. And then for draft leagues, of course, watching A Drive, and then branching out to all the other coaches in the leagues he was in. And I was like, this is cool as hell. I need to find one. Started hitting up Reddit. My very first league, I ended up co-running. It was a goddamn disaster.
As they tend to
I,
be.
of the 10 coaches, only 3 were left. And then luckily, I found the UPL. Didn't get in during the first application
What?
process. I did get in. Became a replacement, and I've been here ever since. And I absolutely love
That was
competitive Pokemon.
season 7? Question mark.
Uh,
I feel like I should know this. I don't.
7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I think it was
Okay.
7. Yeah, I think I
All right.
replaced someone in 7.
So I believe you've been in a couple other leagues. I know you've been in WPF and you have your own league, and I think you've been in some others.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been in a couple
How does
Wi-Fi.
the UPL compare to other leagues that you have been in, whether it be as a coach or as a spectator?
Oh man, the UPL owner, what a douche. I mean, he's a great
Yeah.
guy. No, you honestly, you run this league flawlessly. Compared to all the other leagues, there's rarely ever an issue.
Is there like something
It's amazing.
specific?
I mean, if there was
I know,
something
I know I'm
my
like perfect,
uh
but like what specifically about me is perfect?
honestly, just the way you handle everything. You don't skip a beat. The doc is fantastic. The way you set everything up is great. All the announcements are perfect. Everyone knows what they should be doing and what they have to do. And it's just run really well. That's why, obviously a lot of us stay because it's
Smoothness.
great. The smoothness is great.
All right.
And I took a lot of what you did, brought it to my league because, if someone's running a league well, you kind of take things from it and try to work it into how you do things, and the benefits show.
All right. Do you have a favorite thing to draft and why? This could be a specific Pokemon, a core, a gimmick, an ability, like anything.
Oh God, I used to draft Noivern a lot, but then I got sick of the Hurricane missing. So, but recently, there really isn't much overlap because I'm still a little new and I'm trying to understand what like a lot of Mons do.
hmm
So I'm trying to,
But there's not like
really.
one thing that you're like consistently doing. Like I always try to get like at least like one or two absorber mons. Um,
Yeah, I'm
some
a
people
sicko
try to
and love
get,
offense.
an evolution.
Yeah, I just love pure offense
Pure
because I'm
offense.
just there's
Okay.
something wrong with me.
Yeah.
But recently, I have been trying to draft better, and I think it's working.
We all have. All right. Um, why is so it's kind of known Poliwrath's your favorite Pokemon. Why
Uh
is
huh.
it
Uh
your
huh.
favorite Pokemon?
So back in the '90s,
That's
that
not
was
real
one of
time.
the that was one of the first like little toy figures that my parents got me of Pokemon. It
Uh,
was that, a Gengar, a Blastoise. I just love Poliwrath ever since, and I read the manga. Poliwrath in there is awesome. Love him. I loved him ever since, and I still have yet to draft him in any league.
Imagine drafting Rain and not going for Poliwrath. Yeah, I mean,
It's one
you
thing
got
that tore my
chance.
heart apart.
um, so you obviously play the Pokemon games. What would you like to see in a Pokemon game going forward? Maybe like a returning feature or a new feature.
What I want to see, I really want to go back to another region, or I should say, one of the older regions at a future time or a past time. Those
So kind of like what Legends of Arceus is doing.
100%. Like let's go back to Kanto, but let it
Let's
be
go
a
back
couple
to
hundred years
the
in the
XY
future.
war, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing a war in Pokemon.
I mean, with what they're doing in Arceus, depending on how that's selling, honestly, who knows?
Yeah, they
Um,
could. They have these good regions already.
yeah, they definitely have lots of lore
Yeah,
that they could
you
totally
can go
sell
back.
on.
Yeah,
All
for
right,
sure.
all right.
And at some point, they're gonna have to stop making Pokemon, or it's gonna be a mess.
Yeah, I mean,
So if they can
with
make
the new
regionals,
Pokemon that were
that's fine.
confirmed in Arceus, we're at like 900 exactly now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll
And I mean,
happily
they
take more
supposedly
regionals.
can't fit them all in a game, so you know.
Well, that's the thing. Once we get close to that 1,000 mark, it's gonna be rough, and
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure it's
mean,
gonna get
especially
there.
because everyone's always wanted, the full game
Yeah,
with all
but
the
I mean,
moves,
if
all
we
the
get a good
regions.
handful of like regional variants to going back to other regions,
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine. I'll happily take that as long as there's a good story with it.
As long as there's good reasons. Yeah. And then, as someone who runs their own league, the UPBA, what inspired you to go and create a league?
So the UPL has a ton of great coaches. I mean, a ton. And I was getting my face stumped in every week. So I was like, you know what? Let me set up a league, get some new people like me in, to where we could, obviously battle each other, but grow as competitive players together. So I wanted to try to make that kind of space for people who are trying to get their foot into
It's funny.
drafting.
It's funny because that was my intention with UPL originally, where it was like, so I see that there's all these leagues, but you kind of need to know. So
Yeah,
where are you supposed to learn it? So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make a league where people are like, you're supposed to learn here. And then, I mean, I think this season has kind of shown it because we have a lot. of new coaches, people that have
Yes.
like never participated. So I think it's
Hmm.
pretty good this season. But yeah, that's always like kind of been my intention where it's like technically this is a place to learn. But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That was my
All
intention.
right.
But of course, we ended up getting some really good coaches in
I
there.
mean, it
So
always happens.
there's a mixed bag, but there's room to
I
grow. You
mean,
could
you
test
kind of
stuff
need
in
those good
there.
people to,
Yeah, for
beat down
sure.
so you can learn.
Yeah, yeah. You need to learn your mistakes somehow.
All right. With that, that's the end of the interview. Thank you for joining me.
Of course, it was my pleasure.
All right. And I'll see you guys all later. Peace.
Peace.